Hi guys, the Metal Maniac back again, and in this video I'm going to be doing a review of the live album Face The Fuckin Slayer by Slayer. This live album was recorded in 1983, and it was their first ever live show to be recorded. This show took place before recording the Show No Mercy album. And, yeah, this is not an official release, this is a bootleg, but it's really the only way to get the, audio from that live show. Anyway, so, I'm not going to go into full detail about what band member does what on what, because everyone knows by now, but I will say that this is the, classic Slayer lineup of Tom Morello on vocals, Dave Lombardo on drums, and Jeff Hanneman and Kerry King on guitar. Alright, so the first song on here is, of course, the live version of Black Magic. And yeah, it's really, really good, although I kind of prefer the live version on Live Undead, but this is still a very good version. The next song is a live version of Die by the Sword, which is probably my first or second least favorite from Show No Mercy. Yeah, a lot of people love this song, but I don't. But I mean, it's a decent live version though. Anyway, so the next one is a live version of my favorite Slayer song of all time, Tormentor. Well, kinda. See, this song this song along with three others are not the exact versions on Show No Mercy. Tormentor, this live version actually has an alternate ending and a no guitar solo. So of course Tormentor starts up with the iconic sort of drum intro and sort of leading riff, but around the halfway point of the song, they sort of slow it down, and it gets a lot more melodic and a lot more I don't know how to describe it. It gets a lot more what's the word? It gets a lot more sort of like ballady, but not like in a traditional sense, but it does have a little bit more balladish, sort of like slow kind of feel to it, and then it just ends. This version of Tormentor starts off like the version on Show No Mercy, goes to the midpoint, slows down, a little bit more ballady, a little bit more melodic, and then just abruptly ends. And like I said, there's not even a guitar solo on this version, which is odd. But yeah, I mean, a pretty interesting version of the song, although I will say I'm kind of disappointed that there is no other live version of this song that's the version from Show No Mercy. But, you know, it's an interesting version, sort of shows the sort of like their progression of, you know, finalizing certain songs, and yeah, just a very interesting early version of the song. The next song is called Simple Aggression, which never appeared on any other recordings other than the recording of this live show. It's actually really, really good. I love the opening to it. The opening to it is just a blazing, fast, very catchy guitar solo. And it goes into the main song, and the riffing is great. Then another solo later on, which is, I guess, the quote-unquote solo, or the opening solo is, I guess you could just say it's an opening, bit, I don't know, but yeah, it's just a really great, catchy, simple but really good song. The next song is called Blitzkrieg, which this did appear on Show No Mercy, and I believe, no, just Show No Mercy. Although the song was named something else on Show No Mercy. Blitzkrieg is actually the song The Final Command, just with a different name. Yeah, The Final Command, for whatever reason, originally was called Blitzkrieg, which makes no sense. And I could see why they changed the name, because the song has the lyrics, the lyric of the final command throughout the entire song. So it would have made sense to change the name of the song to the final command instead of Blitzkrieg. Yeah, this one is really good and, kind of confusing with the name change, but, whatever. The next song is another song that wasn't on any other release, and that is Ice Titan, which is one of my favorite songs on here. It has just a really good sort of like sinister riffing along with great solo work and just really good vocals. And yeah, it's a shame this one never appeared on any of their other recordings because it is a good song. But yeah, I honestly would say like, I wish they would have taken like Die by the Sword or Fight Till Death off Show No Mercy and replaced it with Ice Titan. But anyway, next song is called Assassin, which is another great song that should have been on Show No Mercy but wasn't for one reason or another. Yeah, just a really great, catchy, sort of simple but really good song. The next song is actually a cover song, and it's Knight Rider, which they did a cover of a Queensryche song. Now, oddly enough, for whatever reason, nobody I've seen or nobody I've heard has ever mentioned, like, who knows of this live show and who's heard these songs. For some reason, nobody's mentioned that Knight Rider is a Queensryche cover and not an actual original song by Slayer. Yeah, but I'll get to that in just a minute, but I'm gonna talk about the song really quick. Yeah, it's a cover of a Queensryche song from their debut EP. Really good, very catchy. The chorus is probably the one of the catchiest choruses of any metal song. Great solo work, and yeah, just a really good song overall. Now, this version, although I will say that compared to the original Queensryche version and this version, musically I'd say that I prefer the original Queensryche version, but vocally I think Tom Araya does a better job on this song than I forget his name, but the original singer of Queensryche. Yeah, really good song. Now, getting back into the weirdness of this cover, for whatever reason, people just, at least from everything that I've heard and people just talking about this cover song, people don't realize it's a cover song. Yeah, like, if you go on YouTube and go in the comment sections, everyone's just speculating, oh, why was the song not on Show No Mercy? Why was the song not on Show No Mercy? No one has ever mentioned that, oh, wait, this is a Queensryche cover. Apparently, for whatever reason, people just don't know that this is a Queensryche. I don't know. It's weird. It's very, very weird. Like, I mean, and then, of course, again, people are wondering why this was never on Show No Mercy. 2 reasons. 1, it's not their song. 2, they probably didn't get permission by Queensryche to put it on the Show No Mercy album. But yeah, great cover song, but it's weird that nobody has figured out yet that it's a Queensryche cover and not an original song by the band. Anyway, the next song is Cryonics, which is one of my favorite songs from Show No Mercy. Although this version has an alternate opening, the opening is a little bit, I guess a little bit more, complex. Not like it's like technical metal or anything, but I guess you could say that the opening on the version from Show No Mercy is a bit more simplistic. But this, it sort of has like a little bit of a build-up to the actual song, which is very, very cool. Anyway, the last song on here is Aggressive Perfector, which is my favorite song from the Haunting the Chapel EP. And this is a very good live version as well. And yes, this song did actually appear on Live Undead. But I kind of do prefer the studio version, but this is still a pretty good version. But yeah, so the live album ends there. So before I get into my final thoughts and my verdict, I'm gonna show off the artwork really quickly, which is amazing, by the way. They did a very good job at sort of like paying homage to the original Show No Mercy artwork. Hold on. Now, of course, it's not exactly the same, but I like how it's like it's a little different. Yeah, sure, it has, it has the demon guy, the devil, and like the half-formed pentagram made of swords and stuff like that. But I like how they changed it up a little bit. Like on the cover of the original Show No Mercy album, the Slayer logo is actually inside the half-finished pentagram, and the devil is sort of by the side there and just not really doing much, just kind of standing there. I like how they changed it up a little bit on this one, where the logo is actually above the pentagram, and the devil is actually emerging from it, holding one of the swords. Really cool. I mean, honestly, even though this is pretty iconic, and I like this one, I do kind of prefer that the devil guy is actually doing something, sort of emerging from somewhere, instead of just sort of like just standing on the side right there. Also, even though I'm pretty sure the artwork was not by the same guy who did the original Show No Mercy artwork, whoever did this artwork did a very, very good job at faithfully recreating the art style of whoever did the artwork for the original. Like, the art style looks so accurate to the point where it does feel like it was by the same artist, but obviously it wasn't. But yeah, really, really cool. Also, of course, you got the name of the album there, Face The Fuckin Slayer. Alright, so... Oh, I almost forgot. The back of the case, of course, you got the band members there, and then, of course, what I guess is the more common title of this live album, Live at the Woodstock, 1983. And then you got the track listing there, the record label, and this thing that says limited to 150 splatter vinyl and 150 red yellow explosion vinyl. Alright, so yeah, this live album is really, really good. It's a shame that there was never an actual official live album released by Slayer, in terms of, their first ever live show that was recorded in '83, because this is a historic thing, I'm messing up that word, a historic thing for Slayer. Like, this was probably their most important live show, because it shows the development process of certain songs. Like I said, there's alternate versions of Tormentor on here, Cryonics, and Blitzkrieg. So it's a very interesting live album, very historic, because again, it shows the progression of Slayer and how they sort of like come up with songs and how they sometimes rework them later on and stuff. Also, it's the only live recording with certain songs, like again, Tormentor, Ice Titan, Assassin, Knight Rider. You don't see any of those other songs in any other live recordings. So this is very unique as well as historic. The audio quality is actually pretty good for a bootleg. Now, it's not anywhere high quality as like, the bootlegs of like, I don't know, Made in Japan or something like that. But, in terms of Slayer and how raw they sounded even on Show No Mercy, it definitely fits. Again, it's not super, super raw to the point where it sounds bad, but it's not super polished either. It's sort of that perfect in-between. Yeah. I absolutely love this live album. Honestly, I know it may be sacrilegious to say, but I think this is a better live album than Live Undead. Don't get me wrong, I love Live Undead. I absolutely adore that live album. One of my favorite live albums of all time, but I do slightly prefer this one. Yeah, it is an amazing live album, and I'm gonna give it a 10 out of 10. This is, in my opinion, their best live album, even if it is just a bootleg. Yeah. Alright, so that's about it for this video. Hope you guys enjoyed, and I will see you all next time.